How is everyone doing? Welcome to November, and I guess I want to give you guys a little MAK Capital update, kind of an update on the market. I've been tracking this a lot because there's been a lot of data that has came out, in the last week or so. We've had, this morning, it's Friday, they had a jobs report that actually came in soft. This should uh, right now we're gonna just an interesting time, right? Like we need inflation to come down before the Fed is really going to relax. But we had a Fed pause this week, right? And that was pretty much assumed by 99% of the market. But he did come out pretty soft, saying that we are getting data that is showing that there is softening in the markets. The only thing that has not softened is pretty much they were worried about jobs, which will help solidify the data that came out this morning, will help solidify that, hey, things are starting to soften and inflation is, reducing. Now, I know a lot of consumers out there that are saying, hey, prices are still rising at an all-time pace. I'm paying, instead of $10 for lunch, I'm paying $20 for lunch, depending upon where you're at. And yeah, this has all been true. But I think that the market now, like everyone was planning on a pricing, like an interest rate increase in December, but that has completely flip-flopped. I think we were like an 80% chance at one point a few weeks ago that they were going to increase in December. And now we're like at an 83, I think I just read an 83% increase this morning that, or an 83% chance they are not going to raise rates in December. And they have, and it all depends what the data does, right? Of course. So they're gonna be reading. I think they got a couple CPI reports and a couple more job reports. The one being today that can give them some more data to come out. So. It's not up and up in the markets, but the stock market's sure liking that, and it's been painful. Anyone that is in the stock market, it's been in the techs have been taking a bath, but earnings have been fairly good. So it's been kind of we're just in this weird area where the inversion of the 2-year and 10-year treasuries are still inverted, right? And we need those. We need the short-term money. People are taking bonds at, 10-year risk-free. You can buy a 4.6% bond for 10 years. You can earn that. People are going to start taking that deal because likely if we keep getting soft data, guess what's going to be dropping? That 10-year. It's going to be dropping because people are going to be buying it while it's expensive. Or while it's earning you the best return it can get. And in the future, that thing's going to take a dive and people are going to be looking for yield for their money again because their high yield savings accounts are going to go, whoo, and then they're going to be like, crap, now I'm only earning 2%, 1%. It's nothing. Everyone's sitting on the sidelines right now waiting to deploy money. And I'm not sitting a lot of cash in high yield savings account. I just don't think this is all temporary. And you could sit on it for the year and wait like everyone else and wait it. I'll wait all of this out. But I think by the end of 2024, you'll have missed the boat on many opportunities where things are going to start sliding back up because we've basically been flat from 2019 to now. Most of the stuff that I've traded in maybe your 401k or wherever you view this has been pretty much flat. We've been trading pretty much sideways. And so, everyone's going to miss the boat, right? Like everyone's like, oh, I can get 5% risk free. Yeah, go ahead, sit with your cash in there, but don't be sitting with a ton of cash sitting in those investments. Make sure you start deploying them into, there's some real estate opportunities out there. I'm getting sent deal flow all the time. I'm really starting to see distressed sellers that, aren't making ends meet basically when they need to refinance their loans. And so we're getting a lot of deal flow and we're looking at a lot of storage, of course, now, and still looking at multifamily deals, but, we're still pretty bullish on development. I think most of the housing, the housing market, they still see a 3% increase from basically end of Q3 2023 to the end of Q3 2024. And interest rates are supposed to be able to like I think they hover in the 7% area all the way through 24, which is kind of remarkable that they're saying that the real estate market's still going to uptick 3.4%. So that was interesting data to me, and it just shows that how bullish, a lot of people are. And I think, this is a rut that we've created ourselves by printing money, and the patient investors are going to be starting to win again. But don't be too patient. Like, don't sit on the sidelines until like everything goes up in price, because again, it'll be too expensive in 2 years. I guarantee you. So make sure that you're deploying some of your capital into real estate, or, you want to give me a call or get on a call, you can always reply back to this, say, hey, I want to request a call with Mark, and let's talk through it a little bit. So, but like, again, we are developing. So we are currently in the middle. We're probably 25% through a storage facility, luxury storage facility down in Fargo. They're trying to get all the concrete in. We've had a little early Christmas, or I'm not sure why we were blessed with snow on Halloween, but it is what it is, and it's melting, so that's the good news. But Fargo Storage is another great project to store money. Instead of saving money in the high yield savings account, I call it storing money in real estate, and it's going to outproduce those returns tenfold. Plus, we're going to accelerate depreciation on these in 2024. We should have them all stabilized by 2024. This project's expected to complete around the June area. Basically, we'll have units, though, available in February and March, and we'll be filling them as we build this one. So I am opening this up to investors. So we're working on the paperwork right now, and we'll offer it to investors that are within our portal. And you'll have the first access to this. So I think we'll be raising 1.95. We've already gotten some commitments on this thing of around 800,000. So, really we're only looking for 1.2 area. So if you are interested, make sure you go ahead and reply back to this message. Just say, hey, I'm interested in the Fargo deal. This seems like something I want to get on a call with Mark and discuss a little bit further. Just because by the time this paperwork comes out, we'll have obviously a webinar I'm gonna go through this thing, dissect it a little bit in the webinar, show you what it's about, show you where it's at in construction, determine when we're gonna be leasing up, and basically when we're gonna be stabilized. So, if you guys want to get into that, feel free to put in a soft commitment. At least we can reach out, talk to each other. If this is a good investment for you and this is a good place you want to park money, it'll be a $50,000 minimum on that. And again, it's like a couple of weeks. We should have everything tied up. So somewhere in middle of November, we'll host a webinar. You guys will probably hear about it next week. We'll probably schedule that date. And then, we'll go ahead for the money. Obviously, we'll have all the paperwork right before the webinar starts. So make sure to hit us with the webinar. But if you are interested and want to put in a soft commitment, we did open it on the portal. Just click on Fargo Storage and you can just put in a soft commitment that maybe you're interested at 50,000, 200,000, whatever it is, right? So, also one of the things we're going to be doing is auditing all the investors within our portal. So, I think we have a huge quantity of investors in here now, and I want to make sure that everyone, whether they're accredited, not everyone I've been able to get on the phone with and reach out to. So I want everyone on here to at least fill out a questionnaire in order for you to stay active in the portal. Otherwise, we may boot you. And if we have no communication, and we just want to make sure we audit and make sure we have the best investors possible in this portal. So expect a questionnaire. We might have it probably in a couple weeks. We'll have that available and we'll push that out. You guys will see communications on that via text and via email. That's probably how we'll push it. But so far that is your update. Appreciate you guys all, and if you are interested in any of these deals, always message back what you're interested in, and if you want to get on a call, discuss it a little bit further before we actually put it out into all the investors on the portal. So guys, I appreciate it. We will see you next week, and I'll be able to share a couple other projects that we're actually working on, so make sure you're tuned in for next week. Thank you all. Have a good week. Good weekend.